Well, folks, let's talk about Jack Smith's filing of 165 pages of evidence in the 2020 election fraud case that was unsealed this week by Judge Tanya Chutkin. You may remember the shady conservatives on the Roberts Court stuck their fat fingers into the heart of this case by making shit up, without a whiff of constitutional authority, that miraculously gave Orangina almost complete immunity from criminal acts while in office. Basically, the corrupt brofest on the court decided if Orangina was doing anything that could be construed as official, well, no big deal. He gets immunity. Even if he ordered Bill Barr to harm his enemies, no culpability. This case was supposed to be tried this year, but once SCOTUS threw in their made-up wrench, the case was delayed while the unprecedented immunity ruling was hashed out as it applied to the case. Well, Jack Smith has proven to be highly skilled at making lemons into lemonade, and boy, he's a thorough guy. He revealed all the ways Orangina acted outside of the role of president to take a steaming dump on democracy, and Jack sure proved Orangina seems to have bottomless bowels. He does. Unsurprisingly, Jack Smith proves Orangina is a madman who started his shenanigans long before the election, as he laid the groundwork to claim the election was stolen even before it happened. Well, within the 165 pages, Jack has confirmed once again that Orangina's a pig, even when SCOTUS tries to slap some lipstick on him. A few things stand out. First, keep in mind the tea we see in the filing comes from Trump insiders who testified under oath. Before Election Day, Trump told campaign insiders he would declare victory no matter what the results. After the election, Smith presents many detailed conversations in which Republican leaders and operatives told Orangina he lost. There was no evidence of fraud, and he wasn't going to convince anyone with a brain that the election was stolen. Smith also reveals how Purvey and his petulant pack pulled numbers out of the air for fake statistics of voter fraud. They went from 36,000 to a few 100,000 to 40 or 50,000 to 32,000 and finally back to 36,000. Smith provides evidence proving the petulant Purvey pack also tried to create confusion at a polling center in Michigan when the bulk of the votes were being cast for Biden. Purvey's campaign employee went as far as to encourage a riot. So normal, right? Smith points to the fact that the infamous march on the Capitol was privately funded, and even the Secret Service called the gathering of goons a campaign event, not an official one. Trump watched the J6 insurrection on TV. He did. Despite being told the Capitol had been breached and the monsters were inside, he pinched off a tweet all by himself alone in the Oval Office dining room that said Pence lacked the courage to do what he should have done. Meanwhile, Pence was being whisked to safety by Secret Service because by then the moron mob was chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." Yeah. MAGAs would say they were chanting, "Hang out with Mike Pence playing Mario Karts after the insurrection party." But MAGAs will also say they weren't beating cops, even though we have a zillion hours of footage of them doing exactly that. Well, when an aide told Orangina that Pence was evacuated, Orangina said, "So what?" Which I suppose is better than, "Darn, I really wanted them to hang him." But it's still not very presidential, don't you think? Turns out prosecutors got to use an FBI computer forensic examiner to look at what exactly Orangina was doing on his phone, while the fuckwads he radicalized injured 140 Capitol Police. Well, let's just say Pervalicious wasn't checking his horoscope or ordering maxi pads from Amazon, okay? When Orangina's lawyers wouldn't do what he wanted them to, he ousted them and inserted Rudy Giuliani into the mix. Unfortunately, Rudy must have been in the throes of his alcoholism because he sent a shady proposal for disputing the Michigan results to the wrong phone number. He did. Well, overall, Jack's filing is 165 pages of proof of what we already know ad nauseum, that Orangina brings unmatched assholery to everything he does. But this is 2024 patriarchy, and white men like Trump don't suffer consequences if SCOTUS has a say. That's a bridge too far for Bohemian Grove brothers. So you know the drill, folks. Smith will prove without a shadow of a doubt that Mr. Gangrene did it in the parlor with the revolver, but somehow, at the last minute, Orangina will flip the game board and blame the whole thing on Professor Plum. And a third of the electorate who's too stupid to read the rules will agree. Just another chapter in the disintegration of the nation's dignity. Yay, America.